We always make jokes about people can talk to themselves as long as they don't answer back. But I want to kind of dive into why you need to have conversations with yourself. Welcome back to my channel. This is Hannah from Voyager Homes, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of knowing what you want when it comes to your life and real estate. If you're not talking to yourself about the big vision you want for your life, if not spending some time being introspective and looking for what lifestyle do you want to live, what's important to you, what makes you happy, then why are we doing anything in this life? So when it comes to real estate, if you haven't done that, you probably don't know what you want in your house. Sometimes people have expectations about what housing is supposed to be about, why it's important. And I think part of that comes from the fact that American society really pushes home ownership as one of our critical values, that it's very important for people to become homeowners. And so there's this pressure to have a great house and have a great house that's going to impress the people around you. But in reality, your house should be your castle. It should be what makes you happy. And even though realtors can help you get there, we can't do it if you don't know what it is. So before you get into a hot spring market or any time around here that's pretty warm, you should really spend some time thinking about what you truly want and what's going to make you happy. I recently purchased a house, and one of the things that was really important to me in this next house was I wanted a single family with a yard. And that yard needed to be fenced or be able to be fenced. And I wanted it to be enough room for Otto, my Doberman, to run around and play. And not so big that I was going to have way too much to maintain. After coming from a townhouse condo where the exterior was maintained by the condominium, I didn't want to bite off too much all at once. So that, combined with the fact that I knew I wanted to be in my neighborhood-ish and stay inside 495, that left me with some options. And one of the things that I thought I could have just removed from my list was any split levels. I'm not typically a fan of split level layouts, and yet that's what I purchased. So sometimes houses can surprise you and layouts can surprise you. I didn't care about whether or not it was renovated or if there were some things that needed work or some things that were broken. What I needed was a layout that worked, a dedicated office space, a yard for my dog, off-street parking, and stay in my neighborhood and stay in the price point I wanted to be in. And one of the things I had to give up was a garage. I really wanted a garage, but this house came along and it was everything I wanted minus the garage. So it had to go. So keep your priorities in line. Know what you want and what's the most important to you. A garage was not more important to me than having a fully fenced yard in the neighborhood I wanted to be in. I could have gotten a garage if I'd moved to a different area, but it was more important to me to be in this area than it was to have the garage. And knowing that trade-off and what things are more important than other things is really going to help you, especially as you try to narrow down your area. We get a lot of homes on the market, and even though inventory is tight and there are multiple offer situations, if you wanted to look at every home in a huge area around, I want to be in Silver Spring and Kensington and Rockville and Bethesda. Like if you tried to look at all of those houses, it would be completely overwhelming. One of the best things that you can do is start thinking about what that location is. What's most important to you about it? Is it the commute? Is it what's nearby? Is it the schools? What is it about specific locations that's really, truly the most important to you? You need to keep those in mind and set the location first. Obviously, after that, you probably need to know the price, so you should be talking to your lender, and I've done a gazillion videos on that. So feel free to look through my channel's inventory to get more on lending. But once you have location and price, you can start to see, well, what do I get for the money in that location? And if you don't see anything you'd want to purchase, then either you need to change your price or your location. But if you do see things that you like in the location and the price point, you start to get the trade-off. Well, it's really renovated, but then it's very small. Or I can get the yard, but I can't get the garage. Or I really have to go for a Cape Cod or a bungalow because that's what's in that neighborhood. That area and focusing on it and then being able to prioritize based off of what's important to your lifestyle is going to be really key for you being successful in finding the right house. You know, your realtor really wants to help you be successful, but one of the hard things about our job is we need to help you figure out what you want. But if you don't help yourself figure it out, we're never going to get there. So in order to get on the same page, you need to spend some time thinking about what you want. And if you're making this purchase with anybody else, you know, talking to them and seeing what's important to them, because now you've got that extra complication of making sure that the priorities can line up together. If somebody doesn't want to live through a renovation and the other one wants a fixer-upper, that's something you need to talk about first and get onto the same page. What are some of the few things you could be doing if you don't know what location it is that you want, but you want to find out? Well, start visiting those neighborhoods. Drive through them at different times of day and night. Go have dinner there. Go to brunch in the area. You know, look around for the things you want to do. If you want to go for a hike, go drive up to that area and take a hike and see if you like it. These neighborhoods have to match what you want to do in them. So if you want to be able to walk to restaurants, then go park your car in the neighborhood and walk to a restaurant and see what it is like to be in it, walking it, feeling the vibes that you're going to feel. There's something about areas that when you're in them, you either connect with them or you don't. You know, the Silver Spring area that I'm in is Indian Spring Manor, and it is so charming and beautiful. And when I'm in it, it makes me feel happy and peaceful and rested. And that's something that's important for me in the aura I want from my home. And if what you want is vibrant lifestyle where everyone's out and everyone's having a good time and you feel that excitement and energy, well, then this is a sleepy neighborhood and probably not for you. That vibe, you know, is something you're really going to pick up just by being in and experiencing them. So go to the neighborhoods and do the things that you would do and see what you feel like.